I tell her that I'll always be there for her, and I wasn't there.
I had a gut feeling like something wasn't right. Diamond was never out of touch.
Maybe somebody kidnapped her and she just can't get to her phone.
I always told her to be careful. Even if you get in trouble, it's better to be alive.
She passed by us alive. 10 minutes, she was deceased.
It was a very violent homicide. She had fought for her life.
I feel failure all the time because I could have saved her. I used to come here all the time. I love you, and I wish I could have been there for you.
My name is Doris Bradley. I'm from Chicago, Illinois originally. Moved to Spring Valley in 2000 and been working in a nursing home as a cook for over 15 years. What made me want to get away from Chicago? All the shooting, the violence. Spring Valley, people were friendly. It was just a nice place. I've been a single mom, so I come to Spring Valley for a safe environment for my children. I want it better for them. And this is a picture of Diamond when she was a baby. Diamond was very small. You think she's like 10, 11 years old, but in reality, she was 16. She was really short. But she had a big personality.
I describe Diamond as a very fun and outgoing person.
And then she'll just burst in the room and be like, come on, turn on some music, let's party. And it's fun time. I just used to go in her room, chill, hang out with her. And she used to like to take photos when Quint was little. The little goofy photos. She loved being on the phone, taking pictures in the mirror. Most people, they just loved her. Yeah, they just loved her. And this is her and Daquan. See how little she was? Daquan was like a giant over her.
My name is Daquan Bradley, born in Chicago, moved to Spring Valley when I was about 2, 3. As an older brother, I'm really overprotective, but I was closer to Diamond because we grew up together. Like, I was with her from day one. She was like a best friend to me and a sister. seeing her at school every day and walking home with her or driving home with her after school. And whenever she needed help with like homework or anything, she'd come to me. I'd be the first person she went to. She wouldn't even go to a teacher, she'd come to me.
My name is Kevin Sangston. I'm the chief of police here for the city of Spring Valley. I've been a police officer here in Spring Valley for 30 years. Spring Valley is a community that cares for each other and watches out for each other. It's also a very good place to raise a child. Most all the police officers live here in town, so you get to be on a first-name basis with just about every kid in town. It's important that we try to come up with ways to keep the kids involved in the community. You know, when kids are sitting at home all day on their cell phones and on the internet, you don't know what they're getting into. Kids are using their social media and they're contacting people they don't necessarily know, and it can be extremely dangerous. You're playing with fire when you deal with something like that. So when you have tragedy hit the community such as this, people are extremely concerned, and the community was devastated.
That day, it was my birthday, the 23rd. I had cake. We all sung happy birthday. We all just celebrated that day. After my birthday party, everyone laughed. Diamond is listening to music. I'm like, okay, Diamond, I'm finna go to bed. And she took a shower. And after the shower, that was the last time I saw her. I saw nothing wrong. I got up that morning and I go upstairs and I saw Diamond's kitten running around. I'm like, Diamond, get your cat. And I looked in her room. There was nobody there. But she likes to drink coffee every morning. So I assume she probably went to the gas station to get coffee and come back.
I told Diamond I was coming to the house that morning. I haven't been hanging out with her as much as we used to, so I promised that I'd come and hang out with her. But I woke up a little late, and so I got there at about 8:30, but Diamond wasn't there. Nobody really knew where she went. She didn't text or call anybody, so I got a little worried, and I started blowing her phone up, and I wasn't getting an answer or anything. And there was nothing for a couple hours, and then my mom started to feel a little more frantic.
It's like maybe somebody kidnapped her and she just can't get to her phone. You know, all that started going through my head, and I'm study calling. I'm on Facebook texting, Diamond, where are you? Call me.
The next thing I did, I asked my cousin, Giovanna, if Diamond said anything to her the day before of what she was doing.
Diamond was my cousin, but we called each other sisters. The last I saw Diamond was we were in her room after Doris' birthday party. She was laughing. It was just a good time we all had. She didn't mention anything to me about going out.
My mom, she was crying and saying like she wished she knew where she was so she can just go get her herself. And I just told her to call the police.
Doris Bradley came in approximately 6:30 in the evening and reported her daughter Diamond is missing. Diamond's brother, Daquan, went to high school with my son, so I knew the family on a first-name basis. So we took the information and we entered a missing persons report into the National Crime Information Computer. In a missing persons case, time is of the essence. So we contacted the cell phone provider, and within a half an hour, it told us that the phone had last been used at about 7:18 a.m. And the last time it was used was 5 miles northwest of a tower in Tonica, which is 10 miles southeast of here. The cell phone either lost power or had been turned off, and there was no further activity on the phone since that time. So we were definitely feeling that something may have happened to her. No social media, no cell phone usage. Typically, teenagers are attached to their phones 24/7.
When Diamond didn't answer anybody's calls or text messages, I had a gut feeling like something wasn't right. What if something's happened to her? Like, what if she's hurt?
I wish I could have been there. I tell her that I'll always be there for her, and I wasn't there.
People always thought me and Diamond looked alike. Whenever she had a problem, she came to me. We basically shared everything with each other, like all of our secrets and everything. Diamond was attached to her phone. She was never out of touch. She would either text or call one of us to let us know where she was at all times. When Diamond didn't do that, we were like, that's not like her.
I didn't know Diamond had 2 phones. So me and my cousin, we went upstairs and we were looking in her room for the other phone. And that's when we found the second cell phone in her top drawer.
We took the phone. It had several different passwords on it. We were able to open a little bit of it, but it didn't have a typical phone service to the phone. So we didn't have a record of any calls, just mainly the apps that she could use to contact people through. Doris had no idea that Diamond had been frequenting these online dating sites.
I always told her, call me, text me, let me know wherever you're at. Even if you get in trouble, it's better to be alive.
I told her, everybody's not your friends, you know. You got to be careful who you meet. I was told Diamond, well, you just can't find nobody your age. And then she like, well, I like older men, Mom. She said, I can't help it. I'm like, well, I said, you're gonna have to help that because I can't condone to that. At one point, she told me I was too overprotective.
I tried talking to her. I tell her like, hey, you're only 15, like, you're growing up a little too fast, like, could you slow down? But she didn't like listening.
There was a guy named Gerald who went by the nickname of Jay. Jay is 26 years old. He stayed around 6 a.m. He received a text message from Diamond's phone. Want to go to IHOP later? And then a next text message almost immediately after that. Sorry, wrong person. Jay stated that it was not unusual for Diamond to want to go to IHOP in the mornings, so didn't concern him. He sent back an emoji indicating okay, and then he received another text message from her later on, around 6:30, and the 2 words stating, "I'm dying." He told us that he had actually had a romantic relationship with her until he found out that she was only 16. Once he realized that she was underage, he began to distance himself from her. We were wondering, is this a situation where she was upset about the relationship not continuing? Did this lead to any type of foul play? Could he be somehow involved in her disappearance?
The next day, we print out posters and stuff. I'd say like 500 copies. And we went around hanging them up. We had the picture of Diamond, and then like the information under, like if you see this girl, call this number. I went to Tonica, went to Ottawa, went to Princeton, because I instantly thought she was kidnapped. I told myself that if I was there earlier, like I said I was going to be, like I could have prevented her from even like leaving at all. I just wanted to find her.
I asked Jay, what did you do to my daughter, you know? And he was like, I swear to God, I would never harm your daughter, you know?
Jay stated that he stayed up all night online gaming, stated that he never left, did not know that Diamond had been missing until the following day. Jay stated that he was with Giovanna, Diamond's cousin. So we had to check out his alibi. Someone had seen a young female walking down the ramp on the interstate a few miles from here, which is also in the direction of the cell tower her phone had last pinged on. We got a description of the female. She was wearing a pink jacket and some black pants. We contacted Doris. Did she have a pink jacket? Yes, she did. The jacket was not at the home. The police went and responded to that area and identified the girl who had been walking. She actually was an acquaintance of Diamond's, but we determined it was not Diamond. Saturday, around noon, I received a call from Putnam County Sheriff. He stated, I found a body. As soon as he said that, I knew it had to be Diamond.
The 27th of January, I was at home and I received a phone call from one of our other deputies concerning that they had found a body in a rural location in Granville Township. My name is Chad Hagee. I'm the Chief Deputy at the Putnam County Sheriff's Office here in Hennepin, Illinois. The ditch that the body was located in had running water in there. And when I got up to the scene, it was apparent to me that the individual that was in the ditch had been the victim of some sort of foul play. I could see she had received some injuries to her body, and she also had some wounds to her hands. It was a black female. She appeared to be younger. And I was aware that Spring Valley Police had a missing juvenile. So I got on the phone and I called the Spring Valley Police Department.
I went out and drove out to the crime scene. It's a very rural area. It's the deep ditch on the north side of a gravel road. There's cornfields on both sides. The nearest home was at least a mile and a half away. I walked down the gravel road. Looked down into the ditch. Saw that it was Diamond. Her body was partially covered with water. I could see that she had numerous wounds to her neck and to her wrists and defensive wounds to her hands. It was obvious that it was a very violent homicide and that she had fought back. There's no doubt in my mind that she fought for her life. I knew that sooner or later word would get out, so I went to Doris's home. There's no amount of training that they can give you to prepare you when you have to tell a mother that their child's dead.
When they came to the house, it was around about 6, 7 o'clock that night. It was 2 officers, and they was like, "We need you to come to the station." They was like, "Have a seat." They just kind of like looked around a little bit, and I just knew. And I just lost it right there. And so I just wanted to go home.
I was in the bathroom, I hear the door fly open, and I hear crying. And my mom and Diamond have the same exact cry. So I immediately thought that was Diamond. And then I saw my mom, she was crying, and she was like, "They found Diamond." I was like, "Well, where is she?" And then she told me that she passed away, and I immediately blacked out. And I just hit the floor. I just couldn't believe what I heard. I couldn't breathe, and it was just awful. And seeing my mom, it just made it worse.
Like, why would anyone want to hurt her? Like, that just like crushed me. She didn't know what she was walking into. Like, she didn't know that was gonna be her last day.
Whenever I think about it, I feel failure all the time. Because I tell her that I'll always be there for her, and I wasn't there.
Now that's turned into a homicide investigation. We need to find who's responsible as quickly as we can. Who do we have out there that's, preying on our kids? People were fearful. We didn't know who did this. It became extremely critical that we look for any surveillance cameras along that route. We began going through all of those surveillance cameras, and we're able to match up what vehicles are going through those intersections. At the same time, it's from Diamond's phone.
There was about 5-6 guys that sat in there for 14, 16-hour days just breaking the times down and breaking this video down.
And we were able to narrow it down to a black Jeep Wrangler.
These photos are still shots of the surveillance videos that we obtained from the various businesses and locations in Putnam County. What we knew from the FBI report was that this was about the time frames that Diamond's phone was traveling in the same area. And this is the one on Spalding Street, still in Spring Valley at 653, headed southbound. This is from the Putnam County squad car. It was around 6:54 in the morning, and the black Jeep is seen headed southbound on 89. The final one we have here is from Tater Oil, which comes up the Spring Valley Hill, and that's about 6:55 in the morning, and the black Jeep is seen in the picture there. So the black Jeep was just consistent being in the area of where Diamond's phone was traveling. We definitely wanted to talk to this subject. I mean, whoever it was, we wanted to find out who the driver of the darker colored Jeep was.
Juan, he just completely shut down. He didn't know what to do. He was constantly crying, just talking about her, just trying to deal with the emotions. He was really hurt. He thought he failed as a big brother because he wasn't there to protect her. Daquan and Diamond were really close, really close. So when she died, he lost a part of himself.
The Jeep on our list was registered probably about a mile to the north of where Diamond's body was found. I went out to the location. We spoke to the homeowner, and she had informed us that the owner of the Jeep no longer lived there. So we went back into Standard, and we were just riding up and down the roads just to see if we could find a black Jeep. As we're traveling down this road, about about this location is when I looked off right there to the right, and that's when I noticed the black Jeep. This is about the point where I stopped and reversed it, and then turned down this way. This is 4th Street, and this is the residence right here. The black Jeep was parked right there in the driveway. The black Jeep that was sitting in the driveway fit the description, what we were looking for. So I knocked on the door, and a male subject had come out of the residence. One of us asked him if he was the owner of the black Jeep, and he indicated that he was. He identified himself as Richard Henderson. I asked him if he had been in Spring Valley on January 24th, and he said that he was. So I asked him if he would be willing to come with us over to Spring Valley to talk further about it. He said he would, so he got in the back seat, and we took off for Spring Valley. He wasn't standoffish, he was, open. He was very pleasant. Henderson told us that he was working at a humongous greenhouse on January 24th. He recalled being at the Marathon gas station about 6 o'clock in the morning is what he thought.
We were watching the interview in my office. At one point, Deputy Hagee was asking him, "Were you alone?" And he hesitated. And he said, "Yes, sir." And Deputy Hagee picked up on it immediately. He goes, "You hesitated there. Are you sure you were alone?" And then ultimately he stated that he was going to pick up a friend to go purchase drugs. And he asked who the friend was. He said Diamond. Diamond who? Diamond, the girl that's missing. It was that moment in the investigation where we knew we were finally on the right track. It was that aha moment.
I got a little bit of, adrenaline rush, because now Richard Henderson puts himself with Diamond on the 24th in the time frame that we're looking. He said that she got in the vehicle and they traveled across the river and went into Putnam County. There's some sort of verbal altercation, and then he alleges that Diamond pulled a knife on him. Then he kicked at Diamond, and when he kicked her, the knife went into her stomach. And then the fight was on. He gets the knife from her, and he claims that he only stabbed her in self-defense and only did it 2 to 3 times. But based on the autopsy report, Diamond received over 20 stab wounds. and there was some significant damage to her throat area. So his self-defense story did not make sense to us.
Henderson's like 6'2", probably like 270 pounds, and Diamond was 5 foot, 115 pounds. So for him to say it was self-defense was just wrong. It made me even more mad because you don't have to defend yourself over somebody that young and so small and so fragile and a girl.
We believe that Diamond was picked up by Richard right around 6:45 in the morning, and he drove her out of town.
This is where the black Jeep and Deputy Pishka's vehicles crossed paths. That is a very eerie feeling because we were sitting right here. She passed by us alive, and in a matter of probably 10 minutes, she was deceased.
And we know that Richard Henderson killed her by 7:15 a.m. So within a half an hour of him picking her up, she was already dead. We finally had Diamond's killer.
We learned from the FBI that the text message, "I'm dying," was right around 6:40. And that text was prior to Diamond getting in the vehicle with Richard Henderson that morning.
We don't know what the context was. If she meant, I'm dying, she's hungry, I'm dying, her cell phone battery's dying, we don't know. So ultimately, it didn't mean anything at the end.
I didn't want to trial because I said, let my baby rest. And looking at his face every time we go to court, and he always had a smirk on his face. That's something I didn't want to go through. I just wanted to move on and just take care of my family, and that's what I wanted to do.
This is the gas station. It's right behind Diamond Bradley's home, right across the alley. This is the gas station that Richard Henderson came to meet Diamond that morning. Went inside, made a purchase. He parked on the side here and then drove into the alley and waited for Diamond to come out, and picked her up in the alley and drove her out of town. That's the side door to Diamond's apartment right there. If her mom looked out the window, she would see her getting in a car.
Yeah, this is her urn. I can actually take it down. She was young, so I didn't want to bury her and just leave her out there. That's why I had her cremated and brought back home. That helps me a whole lot because she's here with me. Not in body, but her soul, her spirit is here. I miss her every day. It is hard to move on. And at one point, I just wanted to just die because she wasn't there anymore. And I just think about my kids, my other two little ones, what would happen to them. So I had to be strong for them. I pray and I tell myself all the time, it'll be okay, Doris, it'll be okay. This is what she will want. And I do it every day, even though I have my days where I just break.
If I was there, I could have saved her. I could have prevented her from leaving. I'd take a bullet for that girl.